everyone, you're welcome to the 21 Days Smash Your Goal Challenge. And this is the first briefing that we are having with respect to the challenge. And what you should expect is I'm going to tell you what you should be expecting in the 21 Days Challenge. I'm also going to be making a little presentation about how to smash your goals. Now, that's going to be because many of us have tried to actualize a goal one time or the other, but it didn't work out. Maybe you try to form a habit, maybe, or maybe you just try to hit a particular goal. Maybe it's a financial goal, maybe it's a health goal, whatever it is. Many people have found themselves not being able to, smash their goals. And so today, our partner is telling us what the challenge itself is all about, what is expected of you so that you can get the best out of it. I'm also going to be making a mini presentation on how to smash your goal. So in this video or in this live program, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can smash your goal. Now, in this 21 days goal challenge, what's expected of you now in these 21 days is for you to come up with just one goal that you are going to work on judiciously in the next 21 days, next 3 weeks. Now, guess what? I understand that you have many things you want to accomplish. You want to do many things at a time. But your number one discipline, which is the problem, most of the time is the problem we have when it comes to goal actualization, discipline. Your number one discipline will be your ability to stick to only one goal. To take out of this your many goals you've been trying to actualize all this while and you haven't been able to be able to take just one out of it and face it for the next 21 days. If you follow the principles I will be giving to you to follow and achieve this one goal, you realize that you will be equipped. You would have developed your capacity to fulfill or to accomplish other goals. So I want you to please face one goal for this 21 days challenge. Now, if you refuse to face one goal and you want to have multiple goals, you might realize that you don't even get to accomplish anything. So rather than pursuing 3, 4, 5 goals in this 21 days and then end up having nothing, why don't you just discipline yourself and go after just one goal? If you're able to successfully accomplish that goal, you realize that accomplishing other goals will be very easy. Then you even know how to add other goals, together when you don't have to stick to only one. But for now, please, the best way to smash a goal is to focus on one goal at a time. And that's what I'm expecting of you. Now, also in the group, I'll be expecting that you will be accountable. That's one thing. Not only are you going to submit, you're going to submit that your goal in the group, and then you're also going to have to check in from time to time. Every week, we will do an evaluation. You will talk about your goals. You break down how you want to, your plans on how to go about it and the strategy. We'll look at it. I will look at it along with you, make suggestions, and you go for the week. At the end of the week, you come for a review. How far have you gone? Whether you have crushed the goal or not, you need to be accountable. However, this 1 week goal will be broken down to daily tasks. So every day you will check in the group whether that is what accountability does. Now it helps you, one, to be able to accomplish your goal faster than you would have ever been able to. It also stops you from procrastinating or just lazing around when you know you have to check in and be accountable. Even if you didn't smash the goal, you will still come in and check in and say, I couldn't smash the goal because of this and this and this reason. And from there, we can provide a solution to you. By the time you talk about why I couldn't do it today, a strategy is given to you. You have something to work with. You understand? Don't run away and go and hide and refuse to show up on the group. I cannot come to your house and drag you. But, when you give accounts based on what you could or couldn't do, you now begin to realize that, okay, this is how I should do it. Let me try it. Let me try it. And when you try, you get better. It's actually in getting better. It's not about being perfect. That's the problem many people have. You probably haven't smashed your goal. Let me even just talk about it. Some of the reasons why people don't smash their goals is because they're waiting for it to be perfect. Perfectionism or over-analysis, analysis paralysis. Some people over-analyzing it should be this perfect. You try to make it perfect till the timing for the goal has already passed. It doesn't have to be perfect. What you want to learn in the course of this 21 days challenge, apart from smashing your goal, is for you to be able to be consistent, to be disciplined, and to be focused. Those are the major things you want to accomplish. Now, nobody gets perfect overnight. I have a baby, and he's been trying to walk, but it's not working. But at first you want to walk, and it's really like his waist cannot carry him or his leg. I don't even know which one it is. He will fall down, but he will rise up again. He will rise up again. From time to time, he tries to be consistent in trying to walk. And in trying to be this consistent, you realize that he begins to walk. So I don't know where people get this ideology of it has to be perfect or nothing. That's not true. Many mentors, coaches you look up to today didn't start perfect. They didn't start perfect. They actually started, and then as they started, they kept working on themselves and working on themselves. And so what is important to you now is for you to ensure that you are consistent. Forget perfection for now. Yes, forget perfection for now. Welcome, Jennifer. I can see you. You're welcome. And I hope you can hear me. So you're not thinking of being perfect. Yes, you want to smash your goal, but in these 21 days, what you want to do for yourself is to build the ability to be disciplined, to be focused, and to be consistent. And so, like I already mentioned earlier, what's expected of you is to choose just one goal. You have many goals, I understand, but please choose just one goal for this 21 days challenge. And we're going to break it down into how you can accomplish it within these 3 weeks, which is the 21 days. I said at the beginning of the week, we sit down and you bring your goals. After breaking it into weeks, you bring your goals and break it down into days. And then we look at it. Then after the week is gone, we also come and do a reevaluation. You reevaluate your goals. You reevaluate the things you said you're going to do. You'll see, could I accomplish it? If I didn't accomplish it, why couldn't I accomplish it? What happened? Okay, is it beyond my capacity? Then you readjust. No one will kill you. Because if you keep pushing yourself on something you cannot do, maybe like beyond capacity, you will get exhausted and eventually abandon that goal. And I also don't know where people get. There's some myths about goals. People feel that if you must smash a goal, it has to be difficult. You have to feel stressed. No, you don't have to. If you're smashing a goal and you're feeling stressed, that means there's a problem in your planning and your strategy. Then you need to retweak it. You need to work on it. So that's basic. We'll come in every day to give accounts. Be accountable. That's where the difference is. You could have just read a book, or you could have just watched a webinar and be left to yourself. But the accountability group, after being a group where you can be accountable, actually now helps you to be able to say, I did it, but I didn't, maybe I didn't get it totally, or I couldn't finish this. And if you didn't do anything, I set to do this today, but I didn't do it. Okay, why didn't you do it? Oh, this came up, this came up, this came up. And then I will be able to suggest, and even some people in the group will suggest to you what you can do to ensure that you're able to hold on those distractions, or how you can manage impromptu things that come up and you still smash your goals. So whether you did or you did not do what you thought you were supposed to do for the day, you are supposed to give account in the group every day. That is it. Why? Because research, not just research, experience have shown that being an accountability group helps you to accomplish your goal almost 95% of the time. Why? Now, let me give myself as an example. I am an accountability coach, quite all right. But guess what? I still have to hold myself accountable. Now, in the habit transformation and accountability group, we're all trying to form habits and daily habits. And one of the habits, because I am a night owl, I just like keeping awake. Whether I have something to do or not, I just like being awake. It's in the night I would like to read. But I realize that it's not helping me. It's affecting my health. And even when I'm not feeling fine, I still try to keep, awake till 12, 1. And then I'll still wake up early. So I realize I need to work on myself. So I'm also joining. And the sleeping thing. So yesterday I was almost tempted, my usual self, to keep carrying on till 12. But I remember that I have dropped in the group that the habit I want to cultivate is that I want to sleep by 10 p.m. So I quickly, I crossed the time by like 10 or 15 minutes. I quickly dropped my phone. I went to just told everybody good night and dropped my phone far away from me and went to go and sleep. Now, why did I do that? It was had accountability. This is not the first time I told myself I'll sleep early. It's not the first time. So I told myself, okay, when I come, what will I say I was doing? That was not reasonable I was doing anymore. So accountability has a way of making you. And when I did my check-in today, and I said I slept 15 minutes past the 10. And for so reason, well, I will make sure that I work on it today, that I will sleep exactly by that 10 o'clock. So you know what I'm talking about? Whether you did or not, you defaulted or did not default, make sure you come and give accounts. So be truthful. I mean, you want to change now. You want to change. You want a transformation. You want to live the life of your dreams. You want to live your best life ever. You want to be happy. You want to have peace of mind with yourself. There's this beautiful thing. You don't want to be stressed. And so that's why when you give accountability, you are able to caution yourself. The last people I had, there's this lady that needed to be posting online. She showed that she was posting online regularly, I think daily. And because she was in the accountability group, when she wants to default, it's always this consciousness that she needs to do this thing because she's going to give accounts. And she said in less than 14 days or so, she had extra 13 followers coming along with her. Jennifer, I want to say something. Okay, you can speak if you want to. Hello. Okay, so as I was saying, you want to live the life of your dreams, right? So that is the reason you're here in the first place. So why won't you give accounts? So accountability is very, very important, please. So whether you default or not, make sure that you give accountability. That's you come and give accounts. So you can see my example that I already gave you already. It's also helping me. I'm not teaching what I don't practice. If you will practice the principles I'm going to be giving you in the course of this 21 days, I will tell you become a high flyer. But like I said, what your focus is now is not perfection. Your focus is consistency, discipline, and focus. When you get these things right, perfection will follow suit. Perfection will follow suit. All these coaches, mentors that we look up to, they didn't start perfect too. If you go back to how they started, you realize that people started at a better pedestal than them. So please, I want you to disabuse your mind from it must be perfect. But see, no matter how perfect your work is, it still won't be perfect. Tomorrow there will be a better one. So just do and meet up with time. Do and be consistent. Do and be focused on that level. Focus on it at least. As you're producing results, as you're working on it, more ideas will begin to come. So, but like I said, for this 21 days, you're sticking to only one goal. That would be your number one test. That would be the one test of discipline for you. Many people that have a problem with achieving their goals, they are multi-talented, they are what else will I say? They are multi-talented, they have many gifts and talents. That's the problem with us. So we don't know which one to do. We're pushing this one, we're chasing that one, we're chasing this one. And before you know what's happening, we are distracted and we find out that we didn't do any one. So these 21 days, you're sticking to only one goal. So I said earlier that I'm going to make a little presentation about goals so that you can understand the dynamics of goals and how you can have the right mindset for it. Meanwhile, we're going to have a gratitude challenge. We'll have a challenge. Apart from your goals, there's an activity for you every day to be grateful for one thing. And now we're doing a gratitude challenge mainly because gratitude has a way of framing your mind into the positive realm. It makes you more positive. That's the good thing about gratitude challenge. You begin to see, because when we don't actualize our goals, we have this dissatisfaction in us. Secondly, we tend to have a lot of distractions around us. Some of the reasons why we haven't even crushed the goal till now. But with the gratitude challenge, if you follow it, I hope you already have your journals, because I'm going to be giving us activities that will make you need to write. But if you do this, oh my God, I can guarantee you will definitely crush your goals. It doesn't matter what it is. So let me share my screen and do this presentation, which will be very brief. And then I will now address different things we wrote when we are filling the form. So let me try and share my screen. Share my screen. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now. Okay, so my name is Dr. Oluwaseun Oyesoya-Ajogu, which I believe some of you already know. And the thing is this, I'm a performance and productivity coach, and I love to help people live their best life. That is my passion. That is what gives me joy. Now, if you are here for this particular presentation I have now, which will be brief, if you have never set a goal, if you have set goals but never actualized them, which is where most of us belong to, if you are stuck on your goal actualization process and you have many half-done projects, bottom line, if you're saying enough is enough, I'm ready for a change, I need to smash my goal, the year is going, I need to have something that I say I've done from beginning to the end. Now, this is for you. And I have a promise for you. You have reached your final bus stop. I don't know if you've tried to listen to many goal setting, goal actualization webinar, or all those things. And that's why I added accountability to it. So you have reached your final bus stop. Beginning from today, I can assure you, if you will follow every instruction I give you, you will begin to actualize your goal with ease. So I want to stick to the end. Stick to the end, because at long run, you would have gotten what it takes for you to accomplish your goal in the next 21 days. Now, I won't give you so much story, but really, I really want to tell a story about how I go about start setting goals. And I usually this kind of person that wake up in the morning, my normal self will just wake up from being a student. It's already late. And then I go for lectures, and before the whole day I'm coming back, I continue like that for exam time, and I've not even read anything. I'm not even able to read it. But when I got to my third year, I needed a particular CGPA to come out with the grade I wanted. I wanted to come out with the 2-1 at least. And at my third year, first semester, I was not there. So I knew I needed to do things differently. So I sat down and took took stock of my life. I realized I was disorganized. And I realized at this pace, I'm going to come out as a mediocre, even though I have much more in me. Many of us know that we can do better. We know that we have much more inside of us. And so and that's why it makes you sad that you're not able to accomplish your goal. So I found myself in that situation, and I had to talk to myself. I had a frank talk with myself, and I told myself, beginning from today, I will begin to set goals for myself. So I set the CGPA I wanted, the goals I wanted. I now realized that since I want to be able to come out with a second class upper 2-1 CGPA 2-1 grade when I'm graduating, and I taught a 4-year course and I was already in third year, I now decided, how many A's do I need in these courses? I sat down and realized how many A's. Okay, now I have a very busy schedule. Lectures are not always in my control, assignments and the rest of it. What will I do? Since I know I have to have a number of A's, what do I now do? I now decided to have a good time management. I had a schedule for myself. I had a schedule that I worked it with personally. And then I had a schedule on how to read for my own self now, apart from the general stuff. So having had this schedule, I now also knew that I have a schedule quite alright, but I have to follow it step by step. And so I chose to follow it step by step. And one thing I decided to do was to forget all the things that have brought me to this point. I forgot about it. I tried to remove all the thoughts that I've had that are not good enough. I said, I have decided to put my feet in the right place, and I'm going to get it done. Now, because I have experienced this thing, now that is that I've experienced, even in business, I did very well when I had a schedule and I followed it, and also followed all the principles I'm going to be sharing with you here, and also which we're going to be using in the next 21 days. All this principle actually helped me. And you know what happened, which is also what's going to happen to you. You follow everything I tell you to do. One, I begin to get more value by doing less. Before when I took this decision, anytime I try to read for exam, I will have to crash read. Not being organized now, I've left everything to exam time. I'll have to crash read, and after the exam, when I go back home, I will just fall sick for weeks before I get myself. But guess what? When I began to follow this framework, which I'll be sharing with you and also teaching you and guiding you through in the next 21 days, I got more value by doing less. Many people don't understand that it's possible to do more, but in the course of these 21 days, you begin to see it. I now begin to have extra time, even though I read more. I begin to rise above mediocrity. I mean, if as I thought I don't have a 2.1 CGPA, then you can imagine what my grades were like. Yes, I did not fail any course, but I was just at the mediocre level. But I knew that I had an excellent spirit. I knew I could do better. Then you know what? By the time you begin to follow all I'm going to show you, you begin to be like a superhuman. In fact, my friends, after my results, that second semester of third year, I can boldly tell you that I eventually had all A's in 4 unit courses, in 3 unit courses. I mean, this is for me that I only had a couple of A's in 2 unit courses. Other courses, maybe just a C, adding C, then 1 or 2. Yes, C. That's mediocre level now, just averagely. At C. So that's why my score was not yet up to for a 2.1. But at the point in time, I could do much. When we're not praying for exams, when they're asking questions, I just noticed that I'm able to answer more. Why? I followed a process and it was giving me the results. I wasn't worrying about the results now because I've set what the result is and I created a process towards that result. And I had this sense of fulfillment. And that's what I'm looking forward to you people having. This sense, in these 21 days, by the time you begin to see that you have a grasp of your time, a grasp of your emotions too, a grasp of everything around you. My goodness, that sense of fulfillment, no money can buy it. You cannot buy it with money. And then you have clarity and sense of direction. One of the reasons I said stick to one goal. Yeah, I know you have many things you want to do, but for these 21 days, you're going to stick to only one goal. Now, guess what? I'm going to also discuss the hindrance to goal actualization. What has made us or can make you, even these 21 days, not to actualize your goal, and that is self-doubt and limiting beliefs. See, leave that yourself that I cannot do it. You can do it. Don't worry. I believe on your behalf. You can do it. So if I think you can do it, make sure you do it. Are you getting me now? So drop those self-doubt and limiting beliefs. See, oh God, you see this mindset thing. Over time, I realized that whether you will make it big or not, it's what you think of yourself. I've seen people that are not even as good as many people, yet they are making so much money because why? They just believe that they can do it. They don't limit themselves. They're not so bold. They're not even so good, good by our own definition. But because of their belief, they take actions. But for we, because we doubt ourselves, self-doubt and limited belief will just cripple you. You will not do it. Many of us that have problem with procrastination, that's your problem. When people tell me I have problem with procrastination, I need to do things. I'm not too fast to prescribe a method, even though I can tell you what to do. But the major problem is what is causing it. If self-doubt and limited belief is what is making you procrastinate, any of that I tell you to do, it will not work. It's until you worked on your mindset. I can do it. And that is why. So in order for you, if you have self-doubt already or limiting beliefs, one of the things you can do is to begin to affirm, positivity into yourself. Affirm who God has said you are. Affirm it. Tell yourself. Tell it to yourself. Let yourself hear it. Maybe people have talked down at you before. We've heard different things. Parents have said their own. Maybe at one point or another, someone was misbehaving, and parents will tell you that you, this child, will you ever amount to anything? some of these things are what has caused this limiting self-beliefs. But you're going to, so I'm going to also giving you how will I call it, an affirmation. Affirmation. So every day you pick an affirmation and tell it to yourself. Speak it loud to your hearing. Carry your pen and write it down in your journal so that it will sink in. See, these 21 days, if you do what I'll ask you to do, wow, the transformation you experience, you will never forget it. Now, worrying and stressing about the goal, that's the end result. Now, considering the school thing I told you that I sat down, I knew what I wanted to come out with, and I asked myself, what do I need to do? And so I created a system and process, a plan and a strategy to getting it done. And so I thought I now did was I only focused on what I should do every day. What I should do every day. Why? Because I've done all the planning. I've thought the strategy down. All I needed to do was focus on what I'll do every day. If you don't do that and you're just one is, hey, how will I come out with 2-1? Hey, how will I get this my downlines now? How will I reach and what do they call the thing now? Maybe a particular position you want to reach. Hey, when you keep saying hi, will I, the thing will be looking so wide, and before you know what's happening, you will not be able to calculate because it will paralyze you. So what you now do, some people set goal, result oriented. Some set it process oriented. Process oriented is the best. Why? Because just follow the process one day at a time. One day at a time. As you follow that one day at a time, because you've already done the planning ahead of time and strategized, you begin to move forward. Now, not actively working towards the goal. That's another problem. If you have put a system, that's why you put your process down. This is what I'm going to do so day. Now, if you have told yourself this is what I'm going to do, guess what? Start working on it. It doesn't matter whether it's the best. Sometimes you do it the first time, say it was not good enough. Maybe you have the plan to do a webinar for your target audience. You now do the webinar and say, see the way I just talked. See the way I did my mouth. It wasn't good enough. The moment you condemn yourself like that, you now say, I think I need to go and learn communication. Then you now leave the goal and looking for how to learn communication. You see that you're no more actively working on the goal, and that will already hinder you from actualizing the goal. You will continue that way. You will continue because practice will now make perfect. So, and another thing, they're not expressing gratitude for what you have. Remember, I said we will have a gratitude challenge. You see, being grateful, and there are many things that cannot be explained mathematically or maybe logically, but by experience, everybody, successful people, tells you that being grateful gives you this vibe, this atmosphere that makes you what's what I was saying now? It gives you this vibe that will now make you be able to accomplish your goal, to be able to do more, to even attract the right people for you. Now, so now we'll talk about hindrances. How now do we actualize our goals? Because I know that's what every one of you are looking at. How do I do now? You're going to switch from I want to have this into becoming. Now, how do you do that? Visualize that endpoint. See me now. The example I gave as a student, why I wanted to come up with all these A's and trying to smash it was that I wanted to come out with a very good result to make my dad proud. Now that's very funny, but that was my main goal, But my dad was in the academics then also, and I also wanted, and I was in the school that he was in, so I wanted when they will call my results in the Senate and his fellow professor friends and there they will see this son, like, your daughter came out so early. That was my wife. And so because of that, I kept visualizing the smile on my dad's face. That was my major reason. I knew that I would become whoever I want to become. It didn't matter what I came out with in school. But anyway, I had a reason. And so because of that, I wasn't thinking I need to I became that goal. I became that person that makes, the dad proud. So that's the way I saw myself. And when I see my dad, I said, don't worry, I'll make you proud. I was beginning to see myself that way. Now, how are you seeing yourself? Maybe you're giving yourself an income goal because you want to be financially free. Maybe that is why. Then begin to see yourself as that financially free person. It starts here. Become it. Because before the goal materializes, become that goal. Become that financially free person. It's like that person. Speak like that person. Because the more you see it, the more your character and habits will begin to tailor to producing that picture that it is seen. So that's how you become the goal. So in becoming the goal, you try not to be limited by what you are seeing now. You won't be limited. Okay, maybe you that is trying to work towards financial freedom. you barely have extra money after your salary or after your income, but you don't even have savings. But you're not going to look at that. You understand? You have to switch your mindset to the mindset of the person you want to become. And there's this saying by Matthew Arnold, say life is not a having and a getting, but being and becoming. That is what makes your goal. See, if you've seen yourself that way, you will see that you begin to act that way. Are you getting my point? So number one is become that goal. I know you might want to hear me all this break down your goals. Yes, we'll get to that breaking down goals, but there's a mental and an inner working that even if you break down your goals and you don't have it, there's a problem. Now that you have a vision and an imagination of what you want to become, give direction. Give direction to that vision. Now, how do you give direction to that vision? You break down. I hope you all watched the video. I put the link there for you. You now break down that goal. You've taken one goal. You tell yourself, how can I accomplish the goal, right? There are different milestones. So if you have a goal for these 21 days, you break it, that's 3 weeks. You break it down into week, each week. By the time you have accomplished, say, let's say somebody wants to earn 100 or let's say $1,000. Let's assume it's an income goal or a financial goal. You say, okay, by the time okay, in a week now, I need to get $350 now. That's already a milestone, and you celebrate it. So you break it down. So when you broke it down to $350 per week, and maybe per day is about how much that be 50 something, right? You now begin to work towards that. So there's a benchmark, and there's something you must do every day to take you towards it. So you're now saying, okay, every day as you have sold or made $50 every day for me to be able to meet up, my eventual goal in the next 21 days, for example. Now, if you already have what you do daily, you now ask yourself, for me to make this $50, maybe you have a product you're selling. How many do I have to sell? Maybe you have to sell 3, or maybe just 2 or 1. Then they'll say, okay, to get a customer to buy 1, how many people do I need to market to? Maybe you need to market to 10 people for you to get 1 person. That is the process of planning now. So you don't say, I know that I need to get I'll get $1,000 in 21 days. How? So you break it down into week, break it down into day, into a day. What do you need to do in a day? So now you begin to make sure that your daily habits reflect that direction, reflect that place that you want to go, reflect, that it is taking you closer to that person you've seen yourself become in your mind. So what are you supposed to now do? Every single day, your character, everything you do, from what you say to what you do, that's why I say you're going to do affirmations, you understand, will have to direct you towards that person you want to become. That is how you have to do it. So for example, now, if you've told yourself, I have to sell 1 product for $50, example, I want to sell a product for, somebody must buy at least, let's say you have 1 product, $50. How many people do I need to market to? Now, what forum do you market? Do you need to do more reels? Do you need to reach people in their DMs? Do you need to talk to people you know? So that's where you now come up with a strategy. Then you say, okay, I speak to 20 people every day. So you come up, who are these 20 people? Who are these 20 people? Who are these 20 people? And then you talk to them, and then before you know what, 1 person among those people will respond. So you see that there's a planning and there is a strategy. I'm going to talk to them on their DM. I want to be there one-on-one. I get my point. Or you need to supply things to people. Maybe you're someone that supply things. And you can say, okay, apart from supplying, making my awareness online, I'll go to people one-on-one. I'll go to people that have stores and talk to them one-on-one. You understand? So depending on whatever your goal is, now that's one of the things you're going to do after this starts now, because we're starting immediately. You get that your one goal, break it down weekly, whether it's financial or not. You break it into weeks, then break it down into daily activity. What will I do every single day? Now, if you encounter any problem in the group, just drop and tell me that you have an issue in getting into the daily activity. We'll look at it together, and we'll come up with that daily activity that you do. So if you do that daily, just what you do every day, you see it's easier. Then all you just need is to follow that habit. Now these are the daily practical steps which we are going to put to practice even in the group, this is one days challenge group. One is that you write your vision daily. I told you to get a journal, right? You must write it, not just in your head. See, I've tried this thing. Writing sometimes looks cumbersome, but it doesn't take up to a minute to write down your vision. You understand? If it's financial, oh, I am a financially free woman. What else again? I'm a millionaire. Whatever it is that your vision. You get my point. You write it, and then you write the one that today I made so number of sales. Then when you affirm to yourself, you're affirming to yourself to break your limiting belief. Oh, I have what it takes to actualize my goal. That's an affirmation. Oh, I can do all things. I know what I'm doing. I have the strength and capacity to do this. That is an affirmation. So that you don't feel, I cannot do this thing. Then gratitude challenge. Now, the gratitude, you must write it down too. I'm going to give you prompts for that every day. Maybe it can be, what are you grateful for? What activities today are you grateful for? You will think of your activity all today and look for one thing you're grateful for. Maybe it's even in your house. I can even tell you what item in your house are you grateful for. You begin to be grateful for the little things. There's a way it shifts your mindset, and it has a way of giving you a positivity around you that gives you even an energy, you understand, to get things done, even an energy to get the right people around you. Now, one thing you're going to do is you're going to watch your environment. Keep away from negative people. Chase people that will say you cannot do it. Even generally negative people, you don't want negative vibes around you. It has a way of killing the morale. So you're going to watch your environment. You deliberately surround yourself. That's why as you're in the group, talk, make contributions, give accounts, talk. I couldn't do this. I want to do this. All of us are there to hold each other's hand. That's an environment. So it's not that you will not be able to do something and say, yeah, I won't join this 21 days challenge. These tasks that they give, I cannot even do it though. You're talking to somebody that does not know what they're doing, that does not even know your dream, that does not see who you want to become. Now I'll say, yeah, you're following this one line, sorry. They will tell you what they are not doing, No, don't let such people talk to you and stop you halfway. If not, by the end of the year, you'll now be wondering, why didn't I do this thing? Do something you'll be proud of. It will give you peace of mind. I'm telling you, it will give you happiness. It will give you will learn discipline. And guess what? There's this saying that the way you do one thing is the way you do other things. If you can do this 21 days, follow this instruction the way I'm telling you, oh my goodness, you will see that every other aspect of your life will become something else. As in better than you ever thought. You will now get to that you have discipline in other things. You will see that. Then accountability. I talked a lot about that at the beginning for those of us that were there at the beginning. That's why you're in the group. Accountability doesn't mean when you've done it, you come and tell us you've done it. Even when you did not do it, you must come and check in. We'll do daily check-in, even though we'll do weekly reviews of the goals. But you are broken into 2 daily activities. That daily activity, you come and talk about it. Your gratitude, you have told that you did it. Your affirmation, you must do it. I get to my point. If you couldn't do it, I couldn't do it. Like in the habits, those in the habit transformation room, they talked what they wanted to, the habits they want to change and cultivate. So some people submitted, some people did not. And I'm like, why have you not submitted? I called them out in the group. I once came to my DM. I don't like telling it is a DM from group, but I might not see it in time. Drop it in the group because I pinned the group so that when something comes in, it's easy for me to see. I have any messages coming in. So, but if it comes from the group, it's easier for me to see and respond. And so the person came my day and she's afraid, she didn't do anything, couldn't read yesterday, things came up, this and that. What do I suggest? Of course, I gave her what she can do because I've been in such situation before. I said that is the reason you were supposed to give accounts yesterday, so that I will tell you what to do, and today you accomplish your goal. Because if you do 1 day, 2nd day, 3rd day, skip it, you will lose momentum. And remember, one of the things that hinder your goals, which I talked about, is not actively working on your goal. Instead of, if you tell yourself, I'll read for 30 minutes, instead of not reading at all, read for 5 minutes. Like I told you, it's not the perfection at this point. What you want to learn is consistency, discipline, and focus. That's what you're learning. So it's not good enough for my coach say, hey, of course you won't be here if you are perfect, right? So there's nothing that will happen to you or you will do that is strange. And it has happened to, probably I must have gone through it because I've gone through all these things, and that's why I developed the passion to help people in that aspect. So that is it. I'll still continue, but before then, if you have questions, So you are free to ask questions with regards to what I've said here temporarily. I think let me stop sharing my screen so you can see me. Okay. So I'm back here. I hope we are following, and I know we are following. But if you do have any questions, let me know, or maybe we should continue. And then at the end of everything, I'll take questions. Either you will unmute yourself and discuss, or you would drop it in the Telegram group so that I can see it. So let me talk about a couple of things here. Now you've heard how to set your goal. Please pick only one goal for this challenge. Just for this 21 days, pick only one goal so that you can work on your discipline, your focus, and your consistency. Now, one thing was recurrent in the form when we filled our forms, and that was, I want to be consistent, I want to be disciplined, I want to be focused. The thing is this: if you follow every instruction, you will develop those virtues naturally. It will come to you. But you know what? You know the way in secondary school or primary school, we follow instructions of our teachers because we needed to submit assignments, or because we didn't want them to flog us, or we didn't want them to rebuke us. And if you follow these instructions like that, follow it that way. If you will have to follow it that way, please follow it that way. I know why I'm saying so. In the course of doing it, you will develop. Don't reason this thing. This process have been tested and proved it works. It doesn't matter who is involved, it works. So I want you to follow it. Follow judiciously. If I said write down your affirmation, see, don't only read it, write it down, please. You get the point now. Write it down. If I say write it down, write it down. If I say it out loud, say it out loud. All these things work. If you've listened to very successful people, millionaires, billionaires, the principle is the same thing. It's the same thing. So I'm not saying something that sometimes people believe that am I in primary school? We're not in primary school, but I realized that you see all those principles. Those like just have basic principles, frankly speaking. So there was this thing about consistency and the rest of it. And one of the things that can help you with consistency, focus, and discipline is writing down what you want to do. Having a to-do list. It sounds like a cliche, but it is not. It's not a cliche. It is really very effective. I do have a to-do list, but I also have times that I'm like, I know what I'll do in my brain now. It's not just just three things. I not just go here. So let me tell you, I do better when I have my to-do list. I do better. I've noticed it. I do better. I even accomplish more and have extra time. So you have a to-do list. Please, that cannot be overemphasized. Whatever it is, you are broken down this your goal to the tiniest habits of you have to do in the day. Add it to that thing you want to do. Put time frame. Put time. While I know that sometimes things might not work out exactly as you feel, but as much as it's within your power, you already know how your day will go. And sometimes you should fix time too. And as you fix the time, what do? You tick it off. You tick off as you continue. I get to my point. You tick. Okay, I've written this. Let me tick it off. I've done this one. I need to say. You tick it off. Before you know what's happening, you're done with that. So if you have what you're doing and you add your you add a time frame to it, you now begin to realize that it compels you. When you want to be distracted with something else, you realize that this is the one on my to-do list is priority. Write it in order of priority and do it in that order. I get to my point. Do it in that order. That's one very, very important thing that helps with focus. Now, also when you say something, when you affirm, when you come and you come and give account in the group, I did this or I did not do it. Tomorrow it will be in your mind. So accountability is really a very key. It's a key. What will I call it now? It's a key. It's a key. What's the word I use now? It's key to getting your goals, accomplished. Getting organized also still boils down to all of these things. I will address issues one after the other. I know some of us will have questions, which I will also attend to. But let me see some of the things. Now, when you want to, some people talk something about not having sufficient fund or for doing something. So let me tell you something. I said something about removing what's the word now? Remove limiting beliefs. Don't tell yourself there is no sufficiency. You will start with that gratitude. You will become grateful for the one you have. Then you'll be grateful for the one you're expecting. You know one thing, as you do this, your mind begins to open to possibilities. You will be surprised that in the course of all these things, while you're being grateful, somebody might give you some of the working tools that you need. What you need to know is, what do I need? I need this working tool. So that if somebody calls you impromptu and say, what do you even need for this thing? I had it happen to my sister. She baked, so she wanted to have a big oven for herself and all that. And she was telling me that she had this oven. If she had this oven now, I say, tell yourself the kind of oven you want. You can never tell. But you know, as God will have it, somebody just asked her. I'm like, what do you even need for this your catering? Sorry, this your baking stuff. I was like, it's an oven. She could describe this clearly. And they did it and gave it to her. Just like that. She was also surprised. Say, yes, when you're grateful to, when you're specific about what you want, you position yourself to receive help. You position yourself to receive help. So let me see if there are other things that so the key thing is you write down your goals, you take accountability very seriously. Please do. Put a time to the activities. Very important. You'll be able to see changes. If you do this thing for 1 week consecutively, even from the very first day, you will do it. Just write down what you want to do in order of importance. And that's what I tell you, say rate yourself. Please rate yourself. If you think I could have done this, or I didn't do it for so reason, tell me the reason why you couldn't do it. Because if you tell me, then I can propose solution where needed. I can ask necessary questions. You know, this is one day is nice, an opportunity you have to talk to me as a coach, and then I can tell you what and what. You understand? So being in the accountability group, in challenge group now, has given you free access to me without having to pay for consultation and the rest of it. So take advantage of it, please, because after 21 days now, you have to pay for it. Okay, now thank you very much. Let me take questions for the meantime. I'm seeing Safia Dennis raising her hands. I assume you want to say something, so let me unmute you and hear what you want to say. Okay. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Either you say it, yes, or you drop it in the group. You're welcome.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. Me raising my hand was a mistake, but thank you very much for the lessons. Yes, I've really learned a lot. God bless you.
Okay. Amen. Thank you too. Thank you too. Okay. Jennifer, do you have any questions? Okay. So if you don't have any questions, this is your assignment, this is your task, because we need to start in earnest. Decide that one goal. Now, okay, I didn't say something about the goal. There's something I was supposed to mention about goals. I have another presentation for that, so maybe we'll do that next time. But I wanted the one that happened that affects your internal reasoning first. But one of the things you know about a goal, because a goal is different from a dream. It's different from a desire. When I tell you to become the goal, you're actually becoming that dream or the desire. If you say, okay, I want to lose weight, I want to become slim, that is a desire. But when you now say, I want to lose so kg, maybe I want to lose 20 kg in the next 3 weeks, that is what? A goal. So a goal is an idea or a desire that has a timeline to it. It has a timeline. You must have heard these SMART goals that they talk about, meaning it must be specific, it must be measurable. So it's specific now. When you say, okay, I want to lose 50 kg or I want to lose 20 kg in 3 weeks. See, one, it is specific. Two, it is measurable. You can measure it. You can know your progress. Then the A is that it should be attainable. For me, I believe that it is okay. Well, I say that it's going to be attainable. Every goal is attainable depending on who. So I think most of the time I usually like to replace that attainable with believable, meaning that you should be able to believe you can do it. If you believe you can do it, you will do it. Then there's the SMART goal, SMAR. Okay, the R that should be how will I say it now? It should be reasonable. It should be something that makes sense. For example, if you have never made $100 before, and you tell yourself, I want to make $1 million in maybe in 3 weeks, and you've never made 100 before. The thing is, how realistic is that? So you want something that is realistic according to your capacity and according to the resources that you have. Then you now have the C, it should be time bound. It must have a timeline. So for us now, we have these 21 days, these 3 weeks for that one goal. So when you're writing your goal down, because you're going to drop your goals in the group. So you're going to say, my goal is this. Why? Because we're going to work with it. My goal is this. And I plan to, if your goal for 3 weeks is this. So I want to do this in the next within these 21 days or within these 3 weeks. Then you now break it down. For 1 week, I will do this. I don't know whether it's better I drop a form for that. I think you just drop it in the group so that we can address it once and for all. For 1 week, I need to do this. The next week, I need to do that. And the 3rd week, I need to do this one also. So you tell yourself what you're going to do and what strategy you want to follow. I know somebody was talking about getting new leads, getting prospects, daily. And I think I'll give you an example that looks like that. The question is going to be, how many prospects do you want to get in a day? To get those number of prospects, where do you need to reach out to? So that's your strategy. Then you now begin to think of the strategy you want to come up with. So I want you to drop your goal and break it down into the weeks and tell me the strategy you want to use so that we can quickly look at it. And if we need to add more strategies or tweak the strategy so that you can start working with something that works, then we'll do that. So that's our task for today. We say we do not have for motivation. Don't worry. This every week we'll do one thing or other that will motivate us. But above all, your number one motivation is why you are doing this. That's why I said, see that person you want to be. Some people want to lose weight, it's already affecting their health, so they want to be a healthier person. The person begins to see that healthy, slim, person. Now, maybe because the person wants to be financially free, begin to see that financially free person. That alone is a great motivation. Like I told you, I was imagining making my dad proud, the smile on his face, I didn't care what anybody would say. I didn't even care. He was the only one I was concerned about. And I always imagined that joy. And you guess what? It eventually happened that way. When they went to send it, our neighbor went for the meeting and he was like, hey, your daughter did very well. When I came here, I hugged me, I was like, you this girl, they say that was my satisfaction. So that was my wife. That was what I kept as the image. It sounds so funny, but that was it. So what is your own why? What is that person? Keep that image alive. Write it down every day. For this 21 days, not too much. If you've not gotten your journal or your notebook, please go and get it. And please, if you follow what I say, I can tell you. See the video testimonial. I will not beg you because you want to share. And do you know why I tell people to share? You're not sharing just for making mouth. No, you want to help somebody that was once in your position before. When you share a testimonial, someone that have given up on himself, on smashing a goal, say, oh, if she could do it, she sounds like me. I think I then can do it. Let me give it a shot again. And you have saved somebody's life. You've given somebody peace of mind. You've made somebody even happier. So I think this is where we're going to stop today. Since we don't have any questions, we'll call it a day here. Go to the group and drop your task. That is it. And if you do face any challenge, please, there will always be challenges, so there will always be obstacles, and that's why I'm here for you. So that we'll work it together, we'll motivate each other together, support each other together, hold each other accountable, and make sure that these 21 days counts for us. So when you drop the task and your plans and your strategy, we'll work it from there. That's where the real work starts between I, myself, and you guys. Okay, do have a wonderful evening. Cheers to your success. Yeah, have a great evening. So you can go. We're done.